Uh, Instead of having a long, drawn out, we'll just, this is one of those periods, we should call it kind of a re-energized period. This title, as funny as it sounds, Masjid al-Islam strikes back, As-Sabiqun strikes back. That's really exactly what's going on. Now, historically, this is what we're going through is a normal process. The end of the last process, I would say, started 20 years ago. It started when we had our national conference here. It was a nice conference, except that Abdul Malik, Mukhtar and his wife, she started a fight with Brother Tufail's wife. It spoiled the atmosphere. I had a meeting outside with Brother Tufail. With Brother Abdul Malik, and I think Mukhtar was there also. And I told them, I said, okay, with the stuff that just happened, Mukhtar was not out there. I think it was Abdul Malik and Brother Tufail. So I told them, okay, I said, the Latino brother that was handling our masjid in Sacramento, he was sitting right over there. When I looked at everything that was going on, I just said, fine. I just looked around. I don't know if you remember. I looked around and I said, what did I say? Something about, yeah, I'm being stabbed in the back. Everybody, this is a big meeting. So yeah, I'm being stabbed in the back. And I said that because of the way they had gotten to a point to where they thought, okay, we got this now. Okay, Sister Bahia was in pocket down there and had been in pocket for a long time. They arranged the whole thing. Her coming out there, all of that, they arranged that. Because I ran a little test. One was about the head of the Daftar at that time, the Iranians, said, okay, I would come back and I would show like money that I got, you know what I mean, which I usually didn't do that stuff. So then the head of the Daftar over there, he said to me in a little meeting, he said, don't tell your wife anything. Okay. So that means they was all talking. The whole, everybody was talking. Let's just put it the way it is. Everybody was on the other team, and I knew it. So I started at the end of that meeting when I said that, and when we came back up here, Mukhtar was doing one little session, and he got right into handling the situation that had happened between his wife, and that wasn't his business. I just told him, I'll take care of all of that. So anyway, this is just one out of 1 billion episodes. So that was technically, that was 20 years ago, 2002. And so at that time, they thought they were at the height of management and control. Abdul Malik was going all around the area. They had the head of the MSA come to Berkeley and give a talk. And they just, Abdul Malik spoke there too. And the way the head of the MSA was looking at me, not the president of ISNA, but the president of MSA, is like everything that was going on. See, they had started MSA West out there. MSA West got so big so fast, it was challenging the whole MSA. Because remember, if you got California, if you got Washington and Oregon, you got the start of a whole, and Arizona. That's challenging, and they got it rolling big, like everybody, There's several things that came out of it. Number one, the government is in total super duper. Of course, I only been knowing it for 30 years at that time. I was certain of it, just absolutely certain of it. But when you're certain of something, this yakin, this certainty, to be safe, you have to test these theories. So I had a theory about if I kept pressing at home about I'm going overseas, I'm going to do this, to do that, and I come back with big money every time, sometimes 30,000, sometimes I don't. In fact, sometimes they would ask me how much you want. And I would say, well, I don't want to take 50,000. Alamudi had been arrested for having, so I just want a normal amount. Number one, when I leave here, I take money over there because a lot of the people that's coming to those conferences are poorer than we are. So, like, especially if I when I went to South Africa, one of the brothers had a martial arts studio, and he had 53 or 54 orphans staying with him in his studio. He fed them, he did the whole show. When they had the martial arts, they would be way over in the corner in another little room or something like that. All of them. And he did his regular martial arts. So when I went over there, and to me, I was thinking like, how come the big time Muslims are not helping him? So when we would have meetings with the Negro community, or that was in Durban, so that was a Zulu community. When we'd have, if it was in some parts of it would be the Xhosas, other time it'd be the Zulus. And they don't say they don't get along, but the Zulus are a little tougher. That's why in Kata, Chief Buthelezi, you remember Chief Buthelezi back in the day? The name, he was the head of the Zulus, and he was against Nelson Mandela. They was the ones. The Zulus really are tougher than all the rest of them. But Africa is still tribal. Anyway, so over here we're big timers. For the Muslims of color everywhere, I mean a real color like this. I mean, we're like way out in front. They can't imagine that we're independent and we do. So I would take them every time I would go. When I would go to a big meeting in Iran, I would still take money with me from here to there. So I would be doing both. I'd be getting money from one crew, the richer, more well-to-do Muslims. They would be, well, I know you're working hard, trying not to, oh, yes, And then the other ones, especially the Africans, well, that's not racist, definitely the Africans. I would be, even to this day, everybody remembers because, anyway. So it was kind of a setup that I would set Well, I would set people up all the time. I just didn't know anything else to do. So the Iranian was saying, the head of the daftar, don't tell your wife. Well, I knew that my wife, the deputy down at the daftar, all of them was the Iranians was in cahoots. They was all in cahoots. And I knew that. But I had to find out for sure. So I just throw stuff out like white man on the line, Iranians on the line, Negroes on the line. Everybody going to bite at some of the bait. And as soon as they bite it, they ain't going to know they hooked. But we're going to know it. Anyway, it was a lot of stuff. So I knew how this was going. So from 20 years ago, we said, when they came up and they did what they did right here, I said, okay, that's it. I mean, I didn't stand up and say it. I said, that's it. So over the years, by the time 4 or 5 years, we had to get up to 2008 before Abdul Malik gave his resignation, and said, that's it. Okay. But we gave lectures in 2005 and what have you. We said Oakland is a clearinghouse. I don't know if you remember that. A clearinghouse means that the way this stuff works is that like around us, they have to have coordination between the people who cooperate with the government. They have to, because if they have D.C. city police with informers, if they had a federal government with informers, if they have the CIA, then the FBI, and the NSA, if they have all of those with their individual agents in here, right, they'll be bumping into each other. So when we say they have to coordinate, that Oakland was a clearinghouse, they had to send everything through one place and through one person. Although everybody there was on the staff, everybody. That's the only way that everybody can leave after taking Bayah, and that's it. And the same thing here. Like I would have to ask, what did I ever do to anybody here? Do you remember anything in particular? Not a thing. Where's everybody at? And they leave mad. They don't leave like, I won't talk to you about this because, I'm thinking about this. They don't have none of that. They pack up and they gone. Right? Okay, so, and where they are. But anyway, so you do this stuff so long, you get used to it, you get comfortable with it, and after a while, technically you get to liking it. Because the way you do whatever you do best is learn how to like it. And learn how to appreciate it. Not only how to like the job, but like the people. The people that's involved, you believe it or not, you start liking them too. Because you train yourself. It's just training. And plus, it's not abnormal. It's normal. Everything is normal. For who we are, for what the system is, where the system is at, all of this stuff is normal, but it's normal plus. And we have such a wonderful, to be living during this period is a wonderful historical period. It is, it's unbelievable. Anyway, let me get back to what I'm originally. The little programs that we're having is our own training. So it's supposed to snow this morning. late. Well, and tomorrow, a few more other things look like they getting ready to happen. So we're going to do a little slight rearranging. Number one, I'll give khutbah here tomorrow. And because we got a ton of food down there and we got to serve it, and you know what I mean. That's number one. That and the food seems to be good, and we don't just want to let it just go to waste, So we're going to have the food, but we're going to do. We're also going to do some recruiting for. We'll do it for the next few weeks, or do it as long as we need to. So the thing for y'all to do is call everybody. Yeah, we have a nice Juma tomorrow. It was closed last week, so everybody will kind of come. Hopefully, now the khutbah I'm going to give tomorrow is basically this right here. But here's the thing: is that that since we wanted to branch out a little bit, there's a few things that just to mention that we have in mind is having meetings with people in various masajid, especially down south and over in Baltimore, where, for instance, what's the name, the brother that sell me the cars? He comes over here on a semi-regular basis. Okay, so instead of us kicking the door in Baltimore in, right? Although we'll go over to Johnny Cake Road every now and then. And it's very possible that according to how many teams we get and what now this would be post-Ramadan stuff. This mainly be post-Ramadan stuff. Because in the meantime, we want to force ourselves to be familiar with as much as we can. So for instance, for tomorrow, we should send 2 teams out. Maybe one go to, how about Masjid Muhammad? Yeah. Would you like to go over to Masjid Muhammad? Yeah, there's a team. Y'all pass out flyers. You can have boxes that you want, but you could take there's a couple of boxes at the door, and all you got to do is tape one of these over Zakatul Fitr, and whatever team we could muster. And then remember we went over to the Turkish Masjid. They got the parking lot downstairs. Okay. Could you set this up? And what time they have Juma over there? Yeah. But Brother Chappelle could go with you over to. He can, huh?
He told me earlier that he wasn't going to be able to go out tomorrow.
No, tomorrow. Okay. But you can get somebody at least to go over with you, right? Oh no. Well, we'll think about that. We'll think about that. Okay. So what we want to have is this is mainly to get our information out and stuff, and we'll take a couple of boxes, and we'll do that too. Now, I was thinking about the Turkish Masjid. You know, they got the parking lot down there.
I've never been up in there.
No, didn't we go over there?
Well, I never went inside. Like, I never went.
No, forget inside. We went in the parking lot, right? Remember downstairs? That was you and I went over there. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Maybe we'll flip it around. You went to, you know where Masjid Muhammad is, right?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay. Now, can you set that up and get everything ready to go where you have to just push a couple of buttons? Or
Pretty much, yeah.
technically, you could almost start it off because it ain't going to take that time at that time.
Yeah.
What time is they Juma over there?
Okay, hold up. Let me, I was looking at the DNS Center, so let me change over to their website now.
You was going to go where?
I was researching DNS Center's July. That's what they call the Turkish Masjid.
Yeah, yeah. Well, basically, we just want to get 2 teams out tomorrow. Remember, these first programs are warm-ups. You know what I mean? Whether it go in the basket or not, it makes a difference. But you can see that we're just getting warmed up. But anyway, they have a parking lot over there.
Yeah, they do.
They have a parking lot, and we could be, when they come out of Juma, we could have put flyers downstairs on their cars. You know, remember they had the parking lot down there? And then we could be outside, you know, just waving at everybody. You know, outside away from, we could have 2 people. One, if they're going to turn to the right, we would be right there on that corner. If they're going to turn to the left, you know what, when they turn, if they come out and turn to the left and go up that way, we could be right across the street where they could pull right over and stop with us. We'll have flyers on the car, right? And when they come out, because it's going to be snowing, it's good to have a park. It will just finish snowing, I'm sure. What time does it say to finish snowing? Excuse me, Oliver. But they will have it will have finished. It's going to start snowing tonight around 12, and it should finish around 6 or 7 in the morning. Something like that. That's what I heard. Okay, so it'll be snow on the ground, but see, we could go, if we do Diniyat Center and Masjid Muhammad, that seemed to be kind of almost perfect for what we're trying to do. Example, we could go in for the Jummah over at Masjid Muhammad. And no sense of freezing to death. I mean, you know, if anybody want to just be out there cold, I would do it. I used to do it. But, you know, so we could go in and enjoy the Jummah, be right near the back. As soon as they say, Assalamu alaikum, we out. Okay. We'll go through the assignment after a few minutes. That's what we'll do. We'll do Masjid Muhammad Diniyat Center. There's no sense driving way out 100,000 miles out there in Virginia. We'll get them later. You know what I mean?
Okay, 1 p.m. Okay, yeah. If they do their Jumas at 1 p.m., I can set up here. We can start 12:30 sharp.
Right.
Just walk off.
Right, right.
Be over there 30 minutes later,
Right, right.
Possible. Yeah.
We could start at 12:30. They're going to start at 1.
It's supposed to start at 1.
That's with Masjid Muhammad.
This is Masjid Muhammad.
Okay. Yeah, then you could go over there. You could go. Can somebody get you over to Diniyat Center?
I think I can go. I think I can get over there.
Okay, that we'll switch it around because you're familiar with Masjid Muhammad, and then yeah, that's what we'll do. There's 2 boxes down there. We just have to put some clear tape and a flyer on it. It might be another couple down there, and I got a couple so I'll bring my boxes over, and I just set them out there. So it'll be 6 boxes available. Yeah, and we'll burn those old time boxes there. I saw you when you came in, y'all at them. I said, those are old, that's okay. But anyway, just to, this is a meeting, but it's not a meeting, so it's kind of comfortable. Like, the idea is this. What we're doing now is, inshallah, we're going to pay all of our bills on a monthly basis, renovate whatever we got to get, rugs, this, that, and the other, right, for over there. We're gonna do everything we want to do. We're going to do this from what we're doing now. The fundraising, now remember, as we get around pretty soon, people are going to be maybe inviting us, but they didn't do it too much inviting last time. That time before last, we was invited everywhere, but that was before boss man, the Zionists just said no more Negroes, no more. Anyway, so if you do Masjid Muhammad Diniyat Center, a couple of people with you or another person, whatever, that'll get us through this week. The idea is this, the same as what we've been talking about, is I'm going to come and I'm going to have a recruiting khutbah. I'm going to tell everybody this is what we're doing. I'm going to talk about this. And I'm going to talk about the need for more people, to get involved. Because we're getting ready to explode, and the only way you can explode is more people. So, okay, so this is basically dealing with reorganization and remotivation and all of that stuff. That's what we're into right now. All of the old barriers, we're just throwing them out. We're not going for that anymore. So we may in the future do a volunteer organization in each area. But I'm still on the idea of every Jummah we send teams out from here for the first periods, That means during Ramadan, after Ramadan. And we'll talk about our Ramadan program, because our Ramadan program will be every night or almost every night. Like we'll have our food ready, we'll take care of that, and then we'll go to different places every night. And when the Eid come up, they're going to be familiar with us. By the time the Eid come, the people we want the people conditioned that they looking for us to give it. Because all our flyers, everything now is to prepare the people for that. Why? Is because we're going to California and we're getting whatever we get for what they have done. They broke the law. But we want to do this ourselves. You see, every time we got started again in Jahiliyyah, we had a little remnants from before, but we called it fresh money. Niggas got to get fresh money. There's old money, which we ain't got a whole lot of that, but we had enough that we got all the way to here. With them cutting it our money all the time, and nobody could have pulled that off. Maybe they could have if they had some magic stuff, but I mean them specifically hitting accounts, specifically you got some money that's stuck somewhere and there's only so many people know where it's at, and that comes up. That's I don't say nothing. I don't say y'all pay this cold blooded. It's okay, very good. Very good. So this is I hate to keep repeating it, but this is a rejuvenatory period. And if it was Jahiliyyah, we're getting to have a run. When you'd have a run, I mean, things would pick up. It would be a geometric explosion. I'm telling you, if you was getting $1,000 a day before, after a run, one run is right in the middle of the run. The second in command came in. I said, "How much money we make today?" He said, "Well, it was 5,000. That's all." And I technically felt like crying real tears, and that was the turnover for the day. So that turnover meant that there was $5,000. It was 3,000 clear profit, right? And I was actually sad. I was sad. That's pitiful, but I was actually sad. I remember that day is 1970. Okay. Anyway, so to teach boss man a lesson, to teach all the Negroes a lesson. The Negroes is calling. The Negroes it's okay, no problem. It's no problem. Negroes have to be Negroes. That's one of the things I told one of my sons. I told somebody, I said, if you kill a Negro, you're just killing a Negro for being a Negro. What? I mean, actually, it's unfair. He is a card-carrying Negro. If you look on his ID, it says black. Probably says Negro from the old days. It's a nigger. If you kill him for that, you're killing a nigger for being a nigger. It won't be hardly nobody left. And the people practice that. We don't practice that. Just, Anyway. So the way we visualize this period is we have certain little guidelines. Next month is Black History Month. So for Black History Month, we're going to have, I don't know if anybody saw any of the old flyers, Masjid al-Islam's 7th salute to Black History Month. And we used to have that's what we did out there. Now, Black History Month is good because we'll be able to have a very good blend of Islam blended with Black history. We'll be able to point better to what our niyyah is, what our intention is. And so that's next month. Okay. This is the second month, and you can see whether we can adjust how we like. It's our program. We don't have to do, it's our program. We will become more efficient automatically, you know, and therefore our target is Ramadan. We'll have plenty of food stacked up for Ramadan. Will be easy to have it prepared and ready to go for Ramadan. It'll be early enough in the year where it won't be super late. When you go out, after Taraweeh, will be places for Taraweeh. That means every night we'll be somewhere with flyers. Whatever happens, everybody will know where we're coming from. That's during Ramadan, so that we can solidify. We want to develop our community where people will be thinking about giving their zakat to us, because all the flyers are going to lay out that we're going to use that. We're not going to say, these guys, what are they doing with your money? We're not going to say that. It might sound like that's what we said, but we're not going to say, we're not even going to, we might let the video do a little talking. The stuff they did out there last week. Did you give me that video yesterday? Okay, yeah, good. It'll have a date on there, fine. Yeah, we'll get the word out. We'll be very selective with videos and what have you. And what this is winning friends and influencing people. In other words, it's, it's publicity. It's, that's what it is. We're getting into this type of statesmanship, and it's a type of strategic behavior that everything that you do should have a meaning behind it, and so that's what we're working on. And so we have Ramadan and Eid is our, one of the focal points. It's enough time for us to get ourselves together. It's enough time to get, basically the way we got it in our mind is, example, we went over to, we'll get out to Iswa sometimes during the month, maybe around the end of the month. We'll get out in a few weeks back out to PGMA. We'll get out there when we need to. We'll also find out where all the other places are. So we will be busy doing what we want to do. We might have a couple of weeks where I'm here and I give khutbah in order to recruit. I have to talk to the people about this. We have to have bigger and more efficient teams. The way I got it in my mind is, say like if we have 4 teams, it would be one of us handling a team of people, and that's the way we would do it. Each one of us would be in charge of a team and a fundraising team. That way you can semi-manage it, not watch it, but semi-manage it. And, Negroes, you have to give them opportunity to, just stick their hand in the box a little bit, not being too tight, but because, Negroes, they do, it's okay, it's no problem. And they should be, technically, that's the way I did in Jahiliyyah and the Dunya. I ain't never had no problem with nobody. I just had a list when I bought whatever I was buying, I was going to sell it. My crew, I would have what I wanted back. I would give definite orders, and I would send somebody, quality control to buy a little bit to see what they did to it, and I would know, but I didn't. So probably they could not. We still had the best product, and they stole everything they want. They misappropriated. They misappropriated, and it's okay, because see, I got what they had to bring back what I wanted. They could bring a little more, but not less. And so, I got what I wanted, and I wasn't greedy. I got what I wanted, and after a while, I was going to use everything I got it for them and everybody else anyway. Anytime I bought somebody a Cadillac, the Cadillac was free advertisement. If I spent $10,000 for a Broham, I got $100,000 worth of commitment from everybody, because everybody, I want to be a part of that, right? And so the things is worth, spend 10,000 and get 200-300 back from the environment. You know what I mean? You can't stand the dose that I gave this nigga a $10,000 car now, and you stand at that same door waiting for that 10,000 to come. That's like waiting for the benefits of Sadaqah or Zakat, right? I gave them niggas, let me see what I get. I gave them niggas in the halfway house. Man, I give them $200-300. Some of them I give $500. Remember where all the people from the halfway, they used to come here. Can you imagine that somebody had to tell them to stop coming because they Negroes, they in the halfway house and they know they can come over here for Juma and sit here and suffer through the khutbah, and they gonna get $100, $200, $500. They know they can do that every week. They know they can do that every week. So you could imagine somebody had to order them. Huh? No, that's right. But see, before they used to come, and after I had to fight with the sheriff down there, there was a sheriff, PG police, that put me on a list where I'm not welcome in any institutions. So I couldn't go to Lorton after that. I couldn't go nowhere. Because I didn't respect authority, and that's what that means. You don't respect authority. Therefore, we're not having you in our institution. And it went with everybody. I ain't been in since. So anyway, but let me finish this. So tomorrow we have Masjid Muhammad. And you got that covered, and that Juma is 1:30.
Yeah, their Juma, so it's 1 at 1. I got that. Yeah.
Oh, you got that. Okay.
Yeah, and that center's at 12:30. I found it. Yeah. Oh, you found it too. Okay. All right.
Okay, so he'll have to have a batch of flyers and a couple of boxes. Okay. So you got Masjid Muhammad. Okay.
Oh, you got Masjid Muhammad?
I got Masjid Muhammad.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that they got over there, that you have been over there with me before, and you got a feel for those people. No, I'm just asking if you wanted to go over there.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, I mean, it would be easier
For
for me
you to go to Masjid Muhammad.
right, since the wall's not,
Okay, all right.
and then
All
we
right,
could
all
just
right.
pick Tarek up and scoot right over there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I guess, we'll put the flyers on the cars while they're inside.
Okay, so when you go over there to the what's the name? Just go drive in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Get there as early as possible. As soon as you kick this off. What time is it, Juma?
12:30.
12:30. Okay. Yeah. You can. That's when we'll start. It ain't gonna take you but 15 minutes to get over there, right? It's 15 minutes, and you got the guidance thing to get over. Okay. Then you'll have to take somebody with you, so y'all have some flyers and a couple of boxes. When they come out of the parking lot, even if you get there late, when they come out of the parking lot, you go this way and you go that way. When you turn to the right, the person can stand right there on the sidewalk with a box or something like that. Okay, if they turn to the left, they have to go across the street, then you'd be over there about 20, 30 feet down to the left. Something like that. Yeah. Or just look around and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Whatever it is, it's okay, long as you're there. Now, when you get there, that parking lot downstairs, all you got to do is put flyers on all the cars downstairs. It's downstairs. It's not, there's no rain come down. It's a parking lot down there, a regular parking lot. So that's the target, the parking lot. And if you get set up, all right, it's all right to go into Juma and Allahu Akbar and zoop. Always pray at the back, close to the door though. Because as soon as you taslim, you want to be gone. I mean, that's just the way they say. Anyway, so that's perfect. Now I'll be here. I'll give the Juma and whatever. And everybody can call everybody and say, yeah, well, we didn't have Juma last week, but we having Juma this week. So just to kind of let everybody know that we're here, that we'll have it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this. I was going to go over this, but there's no sense of going over this flyer. I'm going to go over this flyer in Juma. And so maybe I might give 2 Salatul Jumas, but I'm going to be recruiting from the Salatul Jumas. Recruiting, we need those teams right now. We'll do fine with what we have, but we need more teams, and each one of us would handle one team. You know what I mean? Each one of us would handle a team. Okay. So are there any questions so far? So the thing about expectations, if we do this even semi-correct, this is one of those things where you can't miss. In other words, no matter how much little shenanigans go on, we will, with Allah's help, be out, around, getting the word out again. Okay. I just hope everybody remember that just like how funny them people look over at PGMA, I don't know if you could look at the faces. Sometimes the people would be pulling up, and if their eyes was big, that mean they know us very well. and they go in. I don't know if you remember, I was waiting for some of the brothers to come out. They didn't come out. They didn't come out because I was out there and they couldn't get out without going by me. So, but there's a lot in this. It seems simple, but number one, imagine what the word is out. Masjid al-Islam is finished. That Imam Musa is retired. Right? That's what they, and that's it. And then here we are, rejuvenated, all fresh and ready to roll for a long range. Before we slow down from this, it'll be up in the future somewhere. That's the way we feel about it. That we're going on up there, and things will not be like they are now. Plus, we'll outgrow a lot of they will have to improve their surveillance, increase their surveillance, increase their attention. And one of the things that we're doing, remember, we're doing many, many things. Number one, it's an inspiration to the people who are basically scared or basically don't have the leadership. They would feel out of place for them to stand up at one of their places and say, hey, what are we going to do? Right? When they see us, and remember, this is the job we're supposed to do. This is the job we're supposed to do. Okay, imagine one crew is going to be crestfallen and sad because we're going to make them shine the light on them. What are you guys doing? If they can do this with no help from nothing, they got to come out here with boxes and ask for help, and everybody will know it's genuine. Okay? Therefore, we're giving hope to people, Like some of the people might be told to come by and do this, that, but there's a lot of people, they have them looks and they know what they're looking at, and they almost wish they could do it. They got a house full of kids and a car full of, they can't do it. They think they can't do it. So we're going to leave the first stages. We're going to relieve the pressure. You help us and we'll do it. As we get along down the way and we're in pocket and the things will came out to try to divert us or slow us down, or you never know. I have a very serious feeling that boss man is confused right now. The way I laid it out is, boss man, we got to sign a contract. We're going to do our business. You just stay back, and they wouldn't pay no attention to it. They would still be the CIA, the FBI, and all of that. But a working something or other, like, and also the system knows where we're coming from. They've been on with us for decades and decades. They already know. They recycle this surveillance and this, that, and other. They already know what the deal is. I would still hope that some of the people would have enough courage to do not whistleblowing, semi-whistleblowing, and take a little, we got a lot of stuff going for us. Well, I know, that's what I mean. But see, we have withstood so much. You got to remember, what we have withstood, those people respect that. Them white folks, they respect that. I already see them. They respect that. They definitely respect it. I can tell by the way they talk to me. And let's say change it, they have to change it so they can try to fool me. But they already, I can see we already do that. But the Zionists have taken over. This is the point. We got to sell them on the idea. They don't have to be sold. They know better than we do. The Zionists have taken over your country. The Zionists have taken over your Congress. The Zionists have taken over your Senate. The Zionists have taken over all your police departments. And your police departments are acting in accord with the Zionist principles, not old-time boss man principles down in Dixie or up in Dixie. Right? You can see that the police departments have been taken over or managed or whatever by the Zionist principles. Right? That means they're not repentant about nothing. Because the old mean boss man, if he gets certain things fall in certain places, he can repent. The Zionists, they don't repent. I remember Abdul Haq and they down at the hotel, and those two Zionists, because all the white folks, that are just standard white folks, I always rub up to them and tell them a few old, you know what I mean? Just, hey, let's get along. Whether they're reporters or what. I tried that with them white folks down there at the Woodard Hotel. And Abdul Haq said it. He said, those are probably Zionists, man. They ain't buying nothing you selling. You can't cuddle up to them. You can't get no smile from them. Those people were Zionists. They're heartless. I mean, they're robotic, and their Zionism has got them so focused that you're not dealing with a human being. When they're dealing with Goyim, me and you, they're not dealing with, they clear. Those were Zionists. They wasn't old boss man, old Peckerwood type. They weren't, no, sir. They was, because I can get something out of all of them because I've been around them so long. So I can get something even if it's not just a snarl. I ain't going for that nigga. Something. But them guys, they ain't even looked up. All they did is that with their recordings and they getting all that information. That's all that Abdul Haq said that, hey man, them people, they must have been Zionists. And that was years ago. That's when you could tell what it is now. Okay. Our expectation of them and the system is no need for expectation. We have to go on. We're doing what we can do. The final thing that we're working on is, of course, to rescue the world from Zionism or Shaitan. Because anybody that got any sense, I don't see how, but I do see how. Because it's historical, it's Quranic, it's biblical, that all the signs, people just looked at them like, anybody need more signs than what's happening now? Hey, man, that's it. That whether it's Noah's boy going to get to another mountain and then the water, or Nero fiddle while Rome burns, I believe that's just a saying that I don't believe he was just sitting there with the fiddle while Rome is burning. I feel like that's what they would visualize. He wasn't doing nothing. Rome is burning. This world is on fire, man. It's on fire in some places, it's drowning in another, and they're not making no moves that will, you know, and they're just not making no proper moves. So anyway, that's where we're headed. Are there any basic questions about the expectations we have of the system? The expectations, if something come from them, that'll be great. But we're not technically, we won't reject them, but they just not they not something wrong with them. Okay. Then on organization, the organization is evolving, just like we can do basically what we want because we're doing it. But it will be organized. I call it in the beginning semi-professional fundraising. In the beginning, it's not professional. Technically, it's just we're just gonna go out and but it's just like getting in shape. The longer we do it, the more rhythm and the more accuracy. The better the flyers will become, the more everything will happen with Allah's help. Expectation, organization, and the goal with that in the near future, between now and say Ramadan, is semi-professional. Like not a professional. Like they have them fundraisers and they have a super speaker come and they, a lot of them fundraisers we used to go to, those were semi-professional fundraisers, or professional, okay? We don't want to be too professional. We want to be close enough to where people can reach out and touch us anytime they want, okay? The cycle is one visit per month. Wherever we go, if we go way over on Johnny Cake Road, we get over there once a month, Except out there at, what's the name? We're going to go back out there. Because they need, yeah. We would be out there this week, but we'll be out there soon, inshallah. So, are there any questions or comments about anything that was said? Okay. Is most of this kind of clear, like? Okay. So I'll take these. Will be scratch paper. See, if you use this stuff for scratch paper, no matter how many years you go into the future, when you go over your notes, you'll have some of these left over. It's just that's where all that stuff comes from. Okay. All right. And we'll try to save y'all something for, in fact, we'll put up plates just to make sure. Yeah. Yeah. To tell you the truth, it's a little bit more, it's up at the cold top part of the refrigerator. It's a drop left of that gumbo if it was any good. But I don't, yeah. Okay. You didn't get none? No, it's a carton. It's down there right now. Just feel free. Okay, yeah. And that boy, them was some big shrimps and stuff in there. Yeah. So, huh? Well, no, it's good to have a few people like that do a few things like that. It puts, yeah, no, alhamdulillah. So, good. You got the, and he provides for him from sources he never could imagine. That's good. That is good. And so you changed all the other little stuff. That's very good. I'll go back and read this boy right now. So, inshallah, any more questions or comments? Anybody want to make any points or anything? Okay, all right.